I've been building my own kingdom for everyone to see. It exists to keep me safe from harm, and it's intact to glorify me. Nobody helped me build this up. It was me and me alone. I've appointed myself as the king, and I've given myself the throne. But it turns out I'm no ruler, and I have no control. So I have decided to destroy it all. I'm tearing down the walls, kicking down the doors. Everything inside this kingdom is yours. 'Cause what I've made is worthless, and it cannot stand. Come and breathe some life into my empty, cold, dead hands. Down with the fickle king, away with this fantasy. You are the one I need. Death to the kingdom of me. Death to the kingdom of me. I should probably be frightened. This empire's all I know, but it always does more damage than good. I'm afraid it's gotta go. I know that I can't be trusted, 'cause I'm just a man. And if you hadn't given your life for me, a loser would be all that I am. You know they say just follow your heart. I'm afraid that's a load of trash. Your heart will take you down to deep, dark places where you feel like you'll never come back. So I'm coming out of the dark. This facade is... I woke up feeling like it was time to tighten up. Yeah, I woke up feeling like it might be a good day to get it done.
What's going on, everybody? It is a bonus episode 168 today because the season's here, and I know you're excited. I'm excited. The more we can talk Titans, the better. And we've got a special guest. Who better to talk about the Titans than Mr. Titan himself? And I am envious of all of the memorabilia that Mr. Titan has on his wall behind him. You can't see all of mine because on this shot right here, you can just see the flag. I've got a few things over here, but nothing compared to what you've got, my man. And I'm appreciative of you taking the time to come on today.
Well, I want to say thank you for having me on, man. And about the Titan stuff in the background, it doesn't matter. If you have a picture or two, you're a Titans fan. That's the most important thing, man. So it doesn't matter about all this stuff here, okay? Doesn't matter about it. Let's talk about some Titan stuff. Thank you for having me on the show. Big fan. And what's up, Titan Nation? How's everyone?
Oh, yeah, and then Mr. Titan, I'm telling you what, man, you have had some interviews on your channel that I'm just like, man, this guy, yeah, Eddie George, and the other day, Avery Williamson, I think, was the most recent one. So if you're looking for, in particular, some great interviews with former Titans legends, Mr. Titan's channel is the place to go. And I hope that we have a Titans legend in the making in Cam Ward. He is the picture on my screen right now that you guys can see. Cam Ward, obviously number one overall pick. 2 preseason games in, we've seen 20-something snaps. You know, nothing too crazy. It's preseason football, but you can see the velocity behind his throws. Obviously, the one to Van Jefferson that was dropped the other night, and some other things. But from your perspective, Mister Titan, how are you feeling about Cam Ward as we are kind of in preseason? One preseason game left. Are you getting a warm fuzzy feeling about Cam?
I'm liking his progress through each game and stuff, and I think that's the most important thing we do have to remember, right? Is that he is a rookie. It's gonna have some ups. They're gonna have some downs. It's just not to press the panic button just
Yeah.
yet. Okay. If he's gonna have a bad game. It's gonna happen, y'all. He's gonna have some good games. He's gonna have some bad games. But you gotta stick with him, all right? Let him. He's learning just like we're learning too with him. Just take your time. And to be honest with you, I like what I've seen from him right now. Would I've liked to seen him play a little bit more in Atlanta? Yeah, I think I would like to see another
Mm.
series. But I understand, coaching wise. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Cam and just to see him grow and not make the same mistakes. That's very important. Not to make the same mistakes. You can make multiple mistakes, but not the same one.
Yeah, I agree. I one of the things I've always liked about Cam is kind of the fire and the confidence that he brings. I think this locker room is in desperate need of just some life and some swagger. And Cam definitely brings that. And part of what we have seen with that is we're recording this on Monday afternoon. Earlier today in practice, Cam kind of got into it a little bit with Big Jeff, some pushing and
Yeah,
shoving. I wasn't there. I haven't seen footage or anything, but what I have seen is that Jeff actually had to be escorted off
yeah.
of the practice field. Some people say that's too far. They need to calm down. I kind of like there's somebody out there giving it back to Jeff a little bit. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's nothing's better than two competitors and them testing each other out. And that's exactly what it is, man. It is hot as hell outside. I don't know if you've been to training camp before, but even sitting on the
Yeah.
sideline in the bleachers and I'm melting. So can you imagine doing the same rep or someone chatting in your ear or someone beating you or because I think it happened too is that he threw a touchdown pass to Calvin Ridley
Yeah.
and he kind of ran past him and kind of did his own thing and just like any competitor, anyone who's, just gave him a little bit of an earful and Jeff didn't like it. It's fine as long as they know kind of where they're at and it doesn't cross that line. I'm 100%. I'm fine with it. I like it. I like it.
Well, like I said, I mean, I feel like I don't want to take shots at any other former quarterbacks, but I feel like
Will Levis
Will Levis would have
did
not
talk.
Will Levis would not have done that. Will Levis would have just kind of probably taken it and just kept on going. I don't feel like there was anybody on this Titans team last year that was willing to, give it back to Jeff a little bit. And I think that's probably a big part of the disconnect from last year. There was just nobody that had that kind of fire to show. But if you've got a rookie quarterback coming in who's
And he talked and he
yeah, this ain't the first time. I mean, in mini
that
camp way back in May, like this dude was letting Jeff have it and kind of giving it back to him. So I think, especially once you get to the season, I think that's good for the locker room. It helps them believe in the quarterback more. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't think Marcus Mariota would have given it back to
not in
Jeff's.
practice. Not in practice.
No. So I'm glad. I'm glad to see what he's kind of doing for the locker room, seeing that confidence. And I'm like you, I want to see growth. I want to see, it is a tough start at Denver week 1. That's tough. Coming home to play
Yeah,
the Rams week 2, that's hard. That's a hard
that,
start
that's
to the
great.
year. But if he can just learn as he goes. I think Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud, we see what they did, and it's easy to want that. And of course, I would love for him to just be abnormally good, but sometimes it's, especially on a roster like this, there might be some slow going, but I'm with you. I think that as long as you're seeing growth and you're seeing him learn, that's the most important thing. And we've obviously seen some young quarterbacks come through here and kind of,
And quickly. But you even said it yourself, right? You said it
yeah,
growing wise, like the locker room. Last year we didn't have that locker room presence. Knowing that builds trust with the teammates, with
yeah,
everyone, the coaching staff. And I feel like they needed a voice, especially a position so crucial like quarterback, where you need him to be the leader, to be the voice, to have everyone's back, and to have people to get their back as well. I think it's very crucial for him to be outspoken in what he likes and what he wants, and just mess around with the defense. And I like it. I like it a lot, and it's something this team's been missing. They seem like it's a little bit closer, as in this team seems a little bit more on sync
Yeah.
than previous years. So,
For sure. And I think the most important thing now is for Cam to back up the talk with his play, because if you come out and you're just not good,
yep.
that nobody will want to listen to you. But talking about the culture in the locker room, it's a nice segue to what I want to talk about next with Brian Callahan. I've been clear on my channel and on my podcast, I'm still skeptical about Callahan. I'm still, I'm hopeful, but I'm just a little bit like, ugh, I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on Brian Callahan? Obviously, they fired Rand Carthon, chose to keep him. How do you feel about Callahan and kind of where we stand with him going into his second year?
He could technically very closely be on the hot seat if we're in what, maybe mid-October and we're not looking good. I could
Yeah.
definitely see his chair getting a little bit hot. I agree with you on that part of Callahan hasn't sold me yet. And again, yes, he's a new coach, so he's trying to find his system, trying to find his range. This year is going to be a big question if he could do the play calling, if he could actually execute what he wants. I mean, he has no excuse now on saying, Cam wasn't his guy and this and that. So I'm on the point where you got to show me more, show me, don't talk it, show me. So it's like 50-50 with him. It could be, if this year doesn't go well, could the Titans potentially get a new head coach? It's a possibility.
Yeah, I would hate that for Cam, because I want that continuity from
Yep.
Cam's first year to second year. But also, if Callahan's not it, I don't want to waste time with the wrong guy. So I don't know. We had a year where it was Robinson was fired, and then the next year Vrabel was fired, and then the next year Carthon was fired. You just kind of get sick of the firing somebody every offseason and starting over. It's not the sign of a stable organization. So I don't know. I hope that Callahan is able to prove something, but it's one of those things, I'll believe it when I see it.
And it's happened within years and years. Like you said, you going back to like interviews and stuff. Like I've talked to Matt Hasselback when I had him
Yep.
on the show, and he talked about how they put Jake Locker in instead of him,
Mm.
and he felt like it wasn't his time. And I agree with him. I don't think Jake was ready for it, obviously. I mean, who knows what would have happened if we
His
would have
body
had.
his body was never going to be ready for it.
Exactly. And who would have never thought, having Matt Hasselbeck again year two, which he did, I think he did fairly decent for what we had. Avery Williamson, when he said he came back to the Mike error, the Mike Rabel error and stuff like that, and they kind of didn't play him. He was just on the sideline. Like it was a different team, but like things that the top general manager, coaches for this organization, it's mind blowing sometimes. Some of
Yeah.
the decisions they make, it's
Well,
it's hard, man. It's hard.
it leaves you scratching your head sometimes. And on that note, I want to at least mention Mike Borgonzi a little bit, because his approach in the limited time he's been here appears to be very different than Ran. Ran was like, he was kind of treated like a Madden franchise on the video game. Like, we're just gonna sign everybody. We're gonna spend. We're gonna try to build up this team with Ridley and Snead and all these big moves, and that's fun in the moment. It's fun in April and in May, to see that happening. But when you step back and see the season we had last year, it's like, well, it didn't pay off. So to see
Yep.
Mike Borgonzi, I talked about this on the show yesterday. I kind of like the fact that he's coming in and playing it smart, playing it slow. No big blockbuster signings
Yep.
this offseason. We know it's a rebuild. We're going to try to be as good as we can, but we're not going to go crazy. Do you kind of see that same thing from Borgonzi? And do you think that – I feel like that's the better approach as opposed to,
Well, yeah.
what Rand didn't work. I mean, we could see
Yeah, I
that.
definitely agree with that. He is playing, chess. He is building and he knows what he has to work with. The way the organization is, the fact, that, hey, are we rebuilding? Are we not rebuilding? And the fact that they kind of approach it like, hey, this is what it is, okay? We're trying to go out there and build a team. And I like it. I really do like his approach. I think it's healthier for the fans, so we're not nuts.
Yeah.
And Rand Carthon, like him, but he kept everything to close to the chest.
Yeah.
Didn't talk that much, wasn't very communicative, communicating with just the media and stuff. So I like right now what we're heading into. I feel a lot more confidence going towards the future with him. Not with the coach, not with Brian Callahan.
Mm.
GM wise, yes.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that, like you said, we had 2 years there where it was like, well, are we rebuilding or not? Because there were some things the Titans would do that made you think, okay, we're rebuilding, and then they would do something where it was like, okay, that seems like a win now move. So I like that we're kind of getting a clear vision now. We've talked about Cam Ward. As you look at the other members of the 2025 draft class, the incoming rookies, who do you see that you're excited about other than Cam? Cam goes without saying, but other than Cam Ward, as you look at the rest of the draft class, is there anybody else that really jumps out at you that you're excited about, not just for this season, but even beyond that?
I would say it would be Cedric Gray kind of pops out, the first thing,
Mm,
just because he was almost sort of like, hey, this might not work. Again, linebacker is something that we needed as well. But he kind of came back into conversation, especially with game two. Now, doesn't mean that obviously he's going to be a starter or anything just because he had one good game. We have to show consistency, is key, especially in preseason. But I really like, again, young kid. He's only 22 years old, but it was one of the names that kind of popped up. Another one would be the tight end. I
Gunnar Helm.
like yeah,
Yeah.
he's like 6'5", and you just see um just things that he does with the football, and I can't wait to see him get a little bit more reps, a little
Yeah.
bit more playing time. But his future is bright, definitely.
Had an amazing catch the other night for the touchdown. You mentioned Cedric Gray. I was freaking out a second because I was getting mixed up. He's not an incoming rookie, but he pretty much is, because even though he was drafted in 24 last year, he didn't really play because he was hurt. So he pretty
Right.
much he feels like a rookie coming in. I think that for me, I'm looking at Alec Iomanor, the wide receiver, the fourth round. The reason I look at him, I've been excited about that pick since they made it, and I think this receiving core outside of Calvin Ridley, it's like somebody's got to step up, right? Like somebody's got to emerge as a target. I think Tyler Lockett at this point in his career, you're going to get what you're going to get from him. So I'm looking at these two rookies, and I just think Io Manor's size, his ability to go up and get the ball, but also his speed makes me excited for him. We saw a little glimpse of it the other night, but do you see, when you look at him, do you think that that's a guy that could kind of blossom into something for the Titans?
Definitely, he could almost play almost like a Westbrook Akine, where
Mm.
you don't see too much, and then all of a sudden you see him catching all these balls because of Calvin Ridley. That would be nice, but I would like to see obviously a little bit more. But yeah, I can definitely see him getting into the roster spot and making some, especially this wide receiver core. It's not the it's not the greatest, okay?
No.
It's not one of the strongest things right
Cam
now,
thinks
but
it is. Cam thinks
I mean, hey, you can feed us that pie. That's fine with me, man. As long as he's telling his
yeah.
players, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. He's not going to go out there and tell them that they're trash. So
Right.
I like that, building your confidence. But damn, lying too is crazy.
Speaking of those incoming rookie wide receivers, one that we haven't seen a lot of that people wanted to see a lot of, Xavier Restrepo, really in both games doesn't really play much in the preseason until the fourth quarter is when it feels like he gets in. I think a lot of fans hoped that he would get a chance to play with Cam in the preseason games. Still got one preseason game to go, but it sure doesn't look like they have big plans for Xavier Restrepo. as you see Van Jefferson dropping passes and kind of people getting put out with him already, I personally don't think Restrepo has any chance of moving up the ladder. Do you think that there's any kind of hope there with him, even if he goes to a practice squad and maybe comes back in later? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like to me they view him the same way the fans do.
Yeah, if anything, the highest thing the kid will probably get would be practice squad. I could see us letting him go and then getting him sign him for practice squad. But other than that, it might be one of those things where it's the fans fall in love with the player, you
Mason
know,
Kinsey makes me think of Mason Kinsey.
oh boy, don't get me started with him. Like that that's another like again, I that's the beauty of being fans, right? That you root for a player and but you never know what's going on in the inside. You don't know practice daily. You don't know what the coaches are thinking about or what they see compared to what
Right.
we see the name and then we see some clips that Teron Davenport puts on social media and then we're like we go crazy, but we don't know the ins and out of this business and obviously the coaches are with them 24/7. They see stuff that we don't see. So that's the only crappy part about being a fan of a player. And it's like it's almost like it's the tease. It's like getting your hopes up thinking this and right now it doesn't look good for him, you know.
Yeah. I think like you said, it's important to remember as fans, we like the kid. How do you not like him? But he was undrafted. I mean, it's not like he was a third round pick that, he's undrafted. And so he was behind the eight ball anyway. But maybe if he gets on the practice squad, he can take kind of that Bryce Oliver
Yeah.
road back to the roster because Bryce Oliver, I think, will make it this go around. Just kind of closing it out here with a couple of questions. First of all, L'Jarius Sneed, it kind of briefly wanted to mention him because, I mean, he missed Monday's practice. We're less than 3 weeks from the start of the regular season. He has not done anything. He has not been in a drill. He has not taken a rep. The Titans defense needs him. They keep saying he's coming back. Just get ready. He's going to be here. And every day that passes, he's not out there. Are you, I mean, I've had some people on and I see people in the comments that have already just given up on this experiment. Some people are hopeful he'll come back. Where do you stand with Sneed?
Well, when he was on the field, he didn't do too good. Okay.
That's another part of this that doesn't
Okay.
get talked about enough. His last game he played in, he got burned by Michael
Yeah.
Pittman.
So a lot of people, I understand, yes, it was a big signing. And just because it's a big signing doesn't mean that it could benefit us. As of right now, like I said, the couple games that he was in last year didn't do too good. It wasn't the Kansas City one. Wasn't Kansas City player. Trust me, absolutely. Not even close.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Coming back from injury, I would say just hold your breath on that one. I wouldn't mind if he came back, but you know what? It wouldn't hurt me if he didn't come back either. It's kind of like I'm I'm closer to the tail end of just being like, okay, let's go get younger. Let's kind of work with it. Because remember, he has to get reps with the first guys, getting
Yeah.
that communication down packed. That doesn't take, a couple practices and you're good. These guys been out there busting their ass doing that for him. So like I said, I'm kind of like, yeah, if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. We're now less than 3 weeks away, so it's not
That's
like
that's two.
oh we've got months. It's like
Yeah,
no, we've got weeks. Like that's you're not just asking a lot of him. That's asking a lot of your defense to have a guy come in that they haven't even played
like
with.
practice with. Yep.
Yeah,
So that's with different ball game there.
I gather with this last question we probably have similar answers. Uh,
I'll try to go the other way then, maybe.
well, I just kind of I put on here what is a successful season for the Titans. I talked about this yesterday, so anybody that listened to that episode knows my answer. But you know, I don't think it's as much about the wins and losses this season. I gather that you probably have a similar opinion. But what's your answer to that question? What is a successful season in 2025 for the Titans?
If the Titans can win more than 4 games, 4 games. I'm not asking much. Four
It's a
games.
low bar.
Very low, but you know what? Life works out like that. Trust me, I'm a lot happier having low bar expectations. If
Yeah.
you have 4 games and you can keep Cam Ward healthy and playing every single game, that's a successful season for me.
Wow. See, your bar's even lower than mine. I said that Cam Ward be playing well. I mean, if
Obviously, and
yeah,
growing. That's continuing. Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
my three things that I said would make this a good, well, I guess four, is that Cam Ward, you get to the end of the season, you can say Cam Ward was good.
yep.
A great thing would be if you could say, hey, Brian Callahan did a good job. He did a good job coaching this team. We can move
Play
forward with
calling
him.
was decent.
Yes. If you can get some year one, year two guys that you can look at and say, hey, that guy's a good player. Jarvis Brownlee, Kevin Winston, whoever, Tavondre Sweat, any of those guys. You mentioned Cedric Gray. If you can look at any of those guys and say, hey, we can build around him, great. Get you a core group of players. And then the fourth thing I would say, even if you were to go 5-12, what kind of 12 losses are we talking? Are we
Close,
talking,
close. Yeah.
yeah, were you competitive with Kansas City when you played them? Were you competitive with the Rams or some of these other teams, the Texans? How competitive? Because last year, I mean, the Titans got smoked by Detroit. They got smoked by Washington. So to me, I walked away saying, okay, that wasn't just a loss. That was a you don't even
Beat
belong on
them.
the
Yeah.
field. You don't even belong on the field with them. If you have 12 losses and most of them are one score competitive, I know those
I'm
are,
okay with it.
yeah, I know those are heartbreakers at the end of the day when you lose close games, but if you can if you can be right there against Kansas City or whoever, that's the kind of thing that would save Callahan's job. There's a difference in 12 losses and you just got smoked and 12 losses and you were there. I mean, Carolina last year was a good example. You know, they lost a lot of games, but they were right there in all of them. So to
Well,
me,
Brad,
yep.
this is gonna be the deal breaker right here,
Uh-oh.
depending on how the season is. Okay, I think it's what week 5 or 6.
I know where you're going. I know where
When
you're
we
going.
play Mike Rabel?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's the one that's gonna be like, hey,
yeah.
did we make the right decision? Now it could be less of a blow if the Titans won maybe 3 or 4 games already before getting to that, or if we're on a losing win streak. I mean, on a losing streak, we end up playing the Patriots and then get blown out.
Yep.
So there's ways of taking that. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's because we have like bad like from histories and the Eagles and the AJ Brown trade and then have it. So there might be that. It might be a little bit of a PTSD on going on from there, but I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
I just remember the last time I felt that kind of way was about John Robinson. I said, if we play the Eagles and AJ smokes us, he could get fired. We played the Eagles. AJ smoked
Okay.
us. He was fired the next day. Amy Adams Strunk does not like getting embarrassed by former players, coaches, whatever. And I think you're right. If the Titans are coming into that Patriots game and they're 2-5, 1-6, and then the Patriots come in here and just,
Dog walk us.
yeah, I
It's,
think
I
that's
think
it
so.
for Callahan right there. Whether they fire him immediately or not, she's making up her mind that
Yep.
day. You know,
Yeah,
so
man.
it's for a team that's probably not going to make the playoffs, there's a lot of intrigue and interesting storylines, and I know you're going to be covered. Everybody go subscribe to Mr. Titan. The link to his channel is in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. And I appreciate you taking the time today to talk Titans. Everybody's excited about the season. I know you are as well as myself. I appreciate you coming on today.
Hey, thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's awesome to have more Titan content creators, man. You can't get enough
Yeah.
of Titan football, okay? Even if this person talks about the same thing, I'll watch 6 videos of different people saying the same thing. I don't care. As long as you're talking Titans, I mean, that's the point, and that was the reason why I made the channel too, is because I live in Dallas, Texas, Cowboy land. It's
Oh
terrible.
man, God
Yeah, it's
bless you.
terrible. Yeah, it's terrible here. So anytime I would talk about the Titans at that time, everyone was like, "Yeah, Derrick Henry," but that's it. They wouldn't go into detail. I'm like, "Well, there's more than Derrick Henry on the
Yeah.
team, So it's nice to build a community and to talk Titans with everyone, man."
That's right. Support Titans content creators, everybody. Unless it's Jared Stillman. Unless it's Jared Stillman. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Don't clip that. I was just kidding. But really. All right. Thank you guys. And tighten up, everybody. I'll be back on Monday with a new episode. And Titans play Friday night. We'll see you guys.